lot of guitar players, when learning a new song or solo, won't break things down into small enough parts. And it ultimately reflects in their playing because you can see how it's a little bit unorganized and maybe these skills aren't deeply refined. So that's what we're doing today, is we're taking a look at the Little Wing guitar solo, but more specifically, we're just extracting the famous first few notes from the solo. It's just 3 notes, but we're turning it into this specialized bending and vibrato exercise, because you should be asking yourself, how do some of my favorite guitar players, right? They're not always shredding, they're not always playing super fast, complicated stuff. How do they make the simple stuff sound so good? Well, remember, they're extremely proficient with the basic skills required to be excellent at guitar. So in this moment, if you're thinking to yourself, oh yeah, maybe I don't really just sit and play with my vibrato, if you're having that thought, it's time to give it a crack, give it 5-10 minutes to just work on some really simple skills so that you can keep them really sharp. It's okay if you're a great guitar player to work on the basics, for 5 to 10 minutes on the front end of your session. So anyways, this is just a nice practical way to work on a skill, because we will all be familiar with those 3 notes, right? And you can hear when I play it like that, it's super dry. So this exercise, and again, you probably know these notes, I'll show you how we're approaching this as a really specialized exercise, but just think about it, right? You want to make sure that that bend is super precise, so take your time to make sure it's clean, make sure you're hitting that note up. The 15th fret here on that bend is supposed to sound like the 17th fret, making a D sound like an E. And then once you come back down, how are your vibratos? You can hear right there, I was hitting the other strings. How can I avoid that? Remember, I'm just trying to share information here. But when I work on this on my own and I have my own time for playing, you better believe I want to get hyper specific on how do I create movement on that string without hitting any additional notes, making sure things are super, super clean, because that's a really, important aspect to Jimi's playing, Stevie Ray Vaughan, all the people who are offshoots to Jimi. How do you make it sound better? Just even cleaner, even tighter, even better technique. So those are things for all of us to think about. And, of course, many of us do want to just jump in and learn our favorite songs. So in my mind, this would be a way to just do that more methodically, more meaningfully, so that it has a higher value on your playing. So anyways, if you find this concept helpful, definitely like the video, subscribe to the channel, that's always deeply appreciated. And if you have any concepts that you'd like to learn more about, leave that in the comments section, and we will do our best to address those concepts. And for now, have fun with this, take your time, use this as a bit of a warm-up, and then move on to all your favorite things. And we look forward to seeing you next time.